My life changed with the amnesty tours that went around the world. Well, firstly around America in '86 and then around the world in '88. And it was really the first time that I'd met people directly affected by human rights issues that before I'd only just read about from a distance. And I think for all of the musicians involved, it was a real wake-up call. And suddenly there were real people in front of us that we started to get to know and become friends who had suffered in extraordinary ways that were just beyond our experience. And that certainly got me hooked into the whole human rights world. And one man stood out especially, who I ended up giving an award with the Reebok Human Rights Foundation. And he's a survivor of a genocide in Cambodia from the Khmer Rouge, but he's done extraordinary things with his life and is still one of the people that continues to inspire me. And I'm very happy that in my house now I have with me Arn Chorn. Do you remember? You remember those days?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for seeing us, and I brought this groma, we call a scarf groma from Cambodia, and to you.
No, thank you so much.
You like the,
Oh, all right. I'm honored.
yeah.
But if you don't mind, because, you know, I've heard the story of the genocide and how you survived and who you lost, but maybe you could just explain to people a little bit of that horrific experience.
Yes, I mean, when the Khmer Rouge came in 1975, I was just a 12-year-old boy playing with my little brother and sisters, and did not know what in store for us when they took over. And all of a sudden, this communist group with their leaders, Pol Pot, it was just like Hitler to us, and they took me away from my family to live in a temple called Wat Aik in Battambang, where the village I live, and they converted that temple into a killing place where I was forced to witness a lot of killing, seeing a lot of killing and dying, and especially children, and also I was forced to do many bad things there, and I just have to do it in order to survive. And also I was forced also to play music while in the middle of all this killing. I was forced to play the revolutionary song, all bloody song, and I became very close to a master Mac, who also brought into the temple by the Khmer Rouge to teach us how to play their propaganda songs. 4 other boys were slow to learn, and they were slaughtered right across my center. So I survived by playing music for their leaders and for their conferences to brainwash children to respect Pol Pot, to respect the Angka, the organization. And then I was given more food, you know, and then sometimes they would put the microphone into our instruments, and I knew that every time they do that, they are using our music to cover up the screaming of the people, many people they killed behind us. I survived there for 2 years out of 4 years of the Khmer Rouge rule. And every minute was life and death, and half of the kids were starved to death. So 700 of us, within 2 years, there was only 60 left. I was one of the lucky one. So that whole thing, when the Vietnamese invaded Cambodia in 1979, again, I thought my life could not have been worse. But the Khmer Rouge, like thousands of other kids, the Khmer Rouge would give us guns. I was 12 and could not even use the gun. I have to figure out how to use the gun while I was in battlefields, and seeing many of our friends shot left and right, children, just children. And then I decided to go into the jungle by myself for months in the jungle by myself, surviving, just watching monkeys for food. And then I don't know, I reached Thailand where I met, I was probably 20, 30 pounds. I was unconscious along the border, and some girls, young girl from the refugee camp took me to the camp where I met a man, a white man, they call him Americans, Mr. Peter Pan, who later became my adopted father. And then 1980, I went to America. And the next day, I went to high school. I've never been to school at all in my life. Something that changed me was a turning point for me was that even start playing my flute, I realized that how powerful the music was, that I just play the flute, they cry, you know, and I thought in my life guns was more powerful than anything else. But the flute, I was learning that, wow, I can play and people cry, you know, I can reach their heart. That was the first time I think I began to know that I'm alive, you know, that I'm not dead. Then I went back to Cambodia for the first time. I have to face my past. I decided to go back to Cambodia and found Master Mac for 25 years that I haven't seen him. Drunk and cutting hair for ex-Khmer Rouge soldier. He said, please do something for me to help me to do something in my life. I know, you know, what he can do the most is you know, in his life is playing the fiddle, and for him to teach and to perform again. So that's how Cambodian living arts come about. And now 15 years later, and we are transforming Cambodia now from being the killing field that, you know, that dominated the discussion, the talk when people start talking about Cambodia, but to talk about the art and beautiful culture that we have. Now the young people are taking on, and we are transforming Cambodia. I like to update you, and they still learn computer.
Yep.
You know, they have many projects, but also the ones that I really like to update you is the you know, they put my name on it. The board, not me, called Arn Chorn Scholarship.
Great.
Which we have. You know, these kids wanting to change, wanting to be musicians badly. Nobody forced them.
No.
They come in, but it would not be possible for them because all of them are poor, and they want to take this on, but I cannot help them unless there is some kind of scholarship that we could give them, you know, and it's like 100% is successful. So I like to ask for further support for this project that it deep to my heart, you know, for these young people.
So that's where we need some help for this scholarship program, and to enable a lot of these amazing Cambodian arts to continue and to find their place with a whole new generation of young people. Thank you very much.